and get started, and hopefully Tony gets in to join us soon. So Pam is going to do the Pledge of Allegiance, so we'll just all mute and wait until the flag is up and let her lead us.
Okay, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pam. Is Pastor Carruthers here?
Mayor, I do not see him in the audience. And I had given him a direct link.
Okay, I see. However, when we get to it, Chris Atkin has now called in. He's one of our attendees, so we can ask further questions on that. Michael, could I ask you to do the invocation for us?
Oh.
Since Reverend Carruthers isn't here, I hate to put you on the spot, but.
I've never done that before. I'll make it short and sweet. Dear Lord, please watch over us and our officials as they make decisions that affect all of our lives. May they do it with goodwill and be blessed. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you,
Good job.
Michael.
Good job, Mike.
Good job.
Good job. Short and sweet.
Officially part of the chaplain corps.
Do I get the pager?
Another recruit. We'll get you a nice shirt and jacket.
Hey.
All right, Mike, if you'll take the roll call, please.
All right, and this meeting on, we're gonna have something new. When I call your name, you have to, by law, we're gonna do everything the way it's written. You're gonna have to signify that you are in this meeting remotely. And where are you remoting in from? City, it says city, state, county, but you could say the city. These aren't my rules. I apologize, but we're going to start doing that. So, Charles, when I say you could just say remotely here in Allen Park. So, all right, thank you. Did everybody get that?
Right.
Okay. All right, Councilman Blevins.
Here, remotely, Allen Park.
Thank you. Councilman Schlack.
Present here remotely.
All right.
Oh. Where?
Councilman Valeria.
Present, remotely, Allen Park.
All right. Councilwoman Czajka.
I'm here present and that I am here remotely from in Allen Park.
Beautiful. Councilman Lloyd.
Present, remotely, Allen Park, Michigan, United States of America, Earth, Milky Way galaxy.
All right. Any Mayor Pro Tem Lally? All right, we'll mark him technical difficulties. All right, and Mayor McLeod.
Present, remotely, City of Allen Park.
Thank you, Mayor. We have a quorum.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by, I'm sorry, by Schlack, thank you.
Through the chair, I think Tony is phone number in the attendees.
Okay,
Just,
The last 4 digits of 4976.
yeah, I think that's Tony. He's just muted.
How does he unmute himself from the phone? We
I've
can't
asked him
force
to unmute.
him. Let me Google that real quick. All right. So, hey, Tony, if you can hear us, try to push *6. *6.
Holy Gallagher! Uno! I'm here.
All right, Tony.
Okay.
there,
There you go.
Barely on my skin. I can't get in the computer at all, guys. I can't even see your faces. Son of a buck.
Hey,
Tony, Tony,
Why?
Mike's going to
Yes, ma'am.
explain to you, Tony, Mike is going to explain to you now how we have to take roll call. Mike, go ahead.
okay, Tony, when I call your name for roll call, I need you to say that you're here remotely and you are in Allen Park.
Okay, I'm remotely in Allen Park. I'm here.
Okay, Madam Mayor, we have a full quorum now. Full
Great.
count.
All right. So I have a motion to approve the agenda from Mr. Schlack. Do I have a second?
Second,
Second
Okay.
by Pam Syke. Are there any corrections? If not, then Mike will take the roll call. And do we have to do the same thing for voting?
No, just in roll call, so letting everybody know where
Okay, great. Thank you, Mike.
I have a motion to adopt the agenda for January 12th. Shall this motion pass? Councilman Blevins,
Yes.
Pro Tem Lally,
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd,
Yes.
Mayor McLeod,
Yes,
Councilman Schlack,
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke,
yes,
Councilman Valeris.
Yes.
The yeses have it. The agenda.
okay. May I have a motion to approve the minutes for the regular meeting of January 26th?
Motion Valerius.
Madam, the
Yes.
motion.
Okay, I have a motion by Valerius, a support by Lally. Are there any corrections? If not, take the roll call, please.
All right, shall the minutes for January 26th be adopted? Pro Tem Lally,
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd,
Yes.
Mayor McLeod,
Yes,
Councilman Schlack,
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke,
yes,
Councilman Valeris,
Yes.
and Councilman Blevins.
Yes.
The yeses have it.
thank you. Now we have a presentation, the swearing in of Police Officer Czajka.
Hey, there we are. You got it right, Mayor. It's Czajka. Can you hear me okay?
I made a note after you told me.
All
Long
right.
eyes.
I'm Chief Egan, coming in remotely from my office in the police station. Ellen's here with her mom and her dad, 6 feet away with masks. So yeah, just to give you a quick info on Ellen Czajka, Officer Czajka. She graduated Walled Lake Western High School with a 3.7 GPA, and then went to Eastern Michigan and graduated 3.9 with a 3.9 GPA, very impressive. And then last year graduated from the Wayne County Regional Police Academy and was 6th in her class, which is pretty impressive. One of the things we're doing different now we just started our, like you saw at the end of the year with our award ceremony, is here at the police station, we're gonna honor previous law enforcement experience, which she has none, but we're also gonna honor education. So right off the bat, before Ellen even steps a foot on the road, she's gonna be getting accommodation from us for a 4-year bachelor degree pin. So congratulations to Ellen. I'm gonna give her that. And if the clerk is ready, I'll put my mask on and Ellen will come up. So there we go with her parents. So, Clerk Busy, when you're ready, you want to stand up and take your mask off? Just get out of the shot.
All right, at the end, you don't have to repeat this. At the end, you just say, I do, I swear, or I affirm, whichever one you feel comfortable with.
Okay.
And start off here. Do you, Ellen Czajka, do solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Michigan, and that you will endeavor to secure and maintain an honest and efficient administration of the affairs of the city of Allen Park, free from partisan distinction or control, and that you will perform the duties of full-time police officer to the best of your ability, so help you God?
I swear.
Congratulations, Ellen.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Ellen.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're excited to have her and looking for good things from her in the future. And I'll talk to you back when we talk about the next segment for the QRT team, right, Mark? So,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard. All right, the next section of our agenda is to place on file the retirement letters from the fire department. Chief Douglas LaFond, July 7th. Captain Dean Love, April 28th. Captain Joseph Hughes, July 5. And Lieutenant Michael Stasick, April 27th. But I did, in looking through the material that we were provided and all the retirement letters, I did get a late one coming in on January 22nd from Chief LaFond, which I would like to read to you. Mr. Kibbe, I need to rescind the letter that I submitted to you January 5, 2021, that I would be retiring on July 7, 2021 as Fire Chief of the Allen Park Fire Department. It has been such a pleasure working with you and your team over the last few years that I could not see myself doing anything else. There is only one caveat with this decision. The city will need to purchase Mickey and Minnie Mouse costumes with them dressed as firefighters. This will make me very happy to still be part of the Disney family and the Allen Park Fire Department family. Please accept this letter as my official rescission of my earlier notification of retirement. Sincerely, Chief Douglas LaFond. I have it right here.
Motion.
After almost 11 years as chief, I would be smart enough not to send a document to Mark Kibbe that wasn't.
Officially now, everybody will be sending documents to me under PDF just so they can't be doctored with. But I think it was an official letter. The mayor has it. The mayor read it into the record. I think it's official that the chief has to stick around with us.
I think if I can just comment, I think Chief LaFond, that with all the ribbing and the comments that you've been receiving since you made this decision, I think it speaks very highly of you and the job that you've done for this city. And I'm hoping that you really feel how much you're appreciated.
I really do. I very much appreciate it. Well, like we have a saying in the fire department, if we're not giving you a hard time, that means we don't like you. So, you know how loved you are by the most static you get, you know, it's just more like siblings, you know, so I appreciate it. And then, you know, I wish I was a little younger, I'd stick around longer, but I'm starting to feel it. So it's that time. I had no gray hair when I took the chief's job. And
Well, we've still got you for a few more meetings, and so we're going to look at that continuation and savor every moment of it. Thank you.
I'm feverishly writing grants and everything I can do before I leave to get you all set up. So I think we got 3 of them in the pipeline before I retire that I can get at least submitted.
Wonderful, wonderful. Mike, is there any motion or a voting on this?
You can or cannot. It's up to you, to be honest.
This is just placing on file. There isn't anything that we need to vote on.
Actually, no. You could just.
Okay.
I was just more so looking to, we're talking to Mike, I was just looking more so to make sure we have a record of it, because, you know, he'll place this on in the minutes, though, it was that they were received and placed on file.
I can't. Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Especially when it says place on file, I usually do. So.
Okay, just so we have a record of it.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get back to some standards with Mike and the record keeping, so he has, we missed over the course of time with the emergency manager and so forth.
Okay, great. Thank you. And then the next item
Thank you, Chief.
under my name is to recognize the Comeback Quick Response Team, but I actually think that Chris can briefly cover this for us. That would be appropriate.
Sure. So like every community, we've been suffering huge losses of people that are overdosing on opiates and heroin and things like that. So one of the things we were able to do is I helped write a grant that is covering this Comeback Quick Response Team. And basically what it is in a nutshell, if somebody overdoses or God forbid passes away from an overdose, we're going to try and respond to them within 72 hours. And our goal is to show up in a polo and jeans and tennis shoes, not a police presence, not in a police car, and simply knock on the door and say, hey, I'm glad you're still here. We want to help. Would you mind talking to some friends of mine who is going to be a registered nurse, a peer recovery coach who can say, and Rick is going to be ours, and he can say, I was on heroin. I've been where you're at. Let us get you in some treatment, and a coach for their family. So we've had people that have passed away in our city this week, this month. So there is a need in our community. The best part is the nurse and the recovery coaches and the treatment is all free for Allen Park. So you don't have to have an overdose. If you need help, reach out to us. We'll come there. So it's a great program. We're going to provide the officer and the connection. Tony Lally and the mayor sat in this training, so it doesn't violate HIPAA violations, it doesn't privacy, but our goal is to do this low key, not try and embarrass anybody, but to try and provide those services. And I think it's a vital thing that we're going to be doing. And I think these officers who volunteered, all 6 of them, are really going to make a difference in our community. So Thursday, we're going to be doing a rollout with 2, 4, and 7. And News Herald's going to be here at 2 o'clock, and we're going to kick this thing off so the residents are aware. And I've already talked to the chief of Riverview and some other chiefs that are looking to try to join on and do this. So if we have someone in our hotel who might have OD'd and lives in Riverview, I can say, hey, can your team go check on them? So we're the 10th in the state to do this, but I'm hoping it goes all downriver. I know Lincoln Park and Taylor is looking at doing it, but yeah, we're pretty excited about it. So Sergeant Fatilia is going to be our coordinator for it. Our school resource officer, Mike Basile, is on it. Our guy who runs our Facebook, Detective Jim Thorburn. Sean Harvey, who was an undercover narcotics officer. Chris Franco, our canine officer. And Logan Wheeler, who's one of our new night officers who was on CERT. Every one of us who is on this team has been affected by losing someone. So I think it's a great start, and I think it's great for our community. So if anybody has any questions, I know, Mayor, you and Councilman Pro Tem Lally sat in on it.
Yeah, I saw Tony's cell phone flash. And Tony, if you want to make a comment, because you were in that training, and you had some very positive feelings about that, I think.
Well, I'm sorry, I just don't have the internet here for some reason or another. Sorry about that. Yes, that presentation was excellent. I think it's a good deal that Chief Egan presented, and that very, very, very nice operation the way you guys did it. And I hope we could keep that up, because I guess you're talking about the same as, like, instead of locking up, taking care of them before you lock them up. Is that correct, Chief?
Exactly right. We're not against our residents. We're not against people with addiction problems. Every officer, Czajka, every officer we ask, hey, why do you want to be a police officer? First question we ask, almost all of them say, because I want to help people. This truly is a way to help people. And if you look at the people that signed up, our canine officer that looks for drugs, our undercover officer, our school resource officer, our detective, all of them want to step in and do that. So to me, just like our protest, I think setting the tone downriver, this could go downriver, then hopefully nationwide. I don't deserve the credit. Lieutenant Mario Bastinelli from Sterling Heights Police Department is the one that developed it. We helped write the grant. So yes, we're going to cover the 4 hours when we go out. But really it's those nurses. We're not doing the heavy lifting. All we're doing is knocking on the door and being that conduit and say they can help you. So. But I do appreciate the officers that have stepped up. They've all volunteered. No one was forced. So
I think it's a very good idea, and they need help, guys. They really do. They need help, and I'm sure Chief, he's got some T-shirts that wants to sell to take care of this organization.
This one.
We do have honor guard shirts. That's what he's talking about. But yeah,
I was impressed. Excuse me.
I mean, I've lost a stepbrother, a brother-in-law, friends. We have officers that have lost children here. So it's something that we're deeply committed to.
Yeah, I think I can speak for both Tony and I that we sat through the 4 hours of training, and I think we both learned a lot about the individuals who are impacted by this and how easily it can happen, especially with the opioids. So yeah.
You better believe it. You just don't go up there and just because he's overdosed. There's a reason why he's overdosed and why and all this. We have to help you. You just don't lock him up and then put him in jail for an overnight. Then he sobers up and then you just take him out, let him get doped up again. No. This is I like the way Mario, he took care of business. He's a heck of a man. He's doing a hell of a job for this stuff here. It's very, very good. And I really appreciate for being there.
And it's for the families as well. The families can get assistance and help too. So a family coach, not just a peer coach, I think is huge. And the biggest thing I learned, like the mayor said, was these people don't have a choice. In their mind, it's not, hey, I don't want to steal, or I don't want to, I shouldn't do drugs today. It's that addiction that they don't have a choice. So getting them to that point where they can step away from that and start new. And I'm not going to lie, it's a law enforcement strategy. If you're not addicted to drugs, you're not breaking into our cars and our garages, that's great too. But it allows us, the police department, to go out and actually help people, not just put them in jail. So I think it's a great program, and I'm really excited to kick it off Thursday. So watch your news on Thursday night, and hopefully you guys agree.
Hey, Pam, did you?
No,
Okay,
I'm
your little
not sure
square came on.
All right.
It's
Thanks,
motion.
Chief.
All right, then we'll move on. Excellent program. I think it will be very beneficial. Very beneficial. Move on to the city administrator's report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'll be as quick as I can here. We've got just a few updates for the mayor, for the council, and the residents of Allen Park. The finance department, Amanda Wirtz, basically is now the finance department, has distributed the budget timeline for the 2021-22 budget year that began July 1st. The proposed budget will be provided to you, the council, at the April 13th council meeting. We'll have a work session scheduled. We'll need to schedule that for the 20th, the following Tuesday, and then a public hearing will be scheduled on the 27th. And then we'll take care of the approval of the, it'll either be at the May 11th or May 25th meeting. I usually prefer the first one in case there's an issue, but it has to be done before May 30th. So we'll have it at the May 11th meeting for you, ready to be approved. But she's been working on that and with all the department heads so far and making some progress there. So we'll make sure everything's ready for you on April 13th. For the DPS project, that's Bob Kitty's project, and he's been working diligently over there for us. I walked through with Councilman Valerius yesterday and got to see some things myself. The floor of the large storage portion of the building has been poured already. It is a mammoth area. That area, I believe, is 120 by 300. It's 36,000 square feet, or just about 36,000 square feet open space. We did tell Pat Hawkins if he wanted to have a couple more ice arenas, he could do that. Volleyball courts, wrestling mats. We could do the wrestling tournament there for you, Councilman Lloyd. So the office area has been prepared for the concrete to be poured, and that should happen within the next week or so. They have a few more things that look like they were still tidying up with to get that to that point. Brick contractor was wrapping up the brick in the office area. It's really looking nice, and they're making some headway on that. Should be wrapped up with that by the end of the week, I'd guess. And then the fire hydrants were being installed this week. I know that when we were there yesterday, they had one installed, and they were making working on the rest of those. I think there was a total of 5 going in on that site. Brandy Swinehart and from the library and Rob Fulton from Parks and Recreation are working on an opportunity for joint programming this summer. So they've been working together on a couple different things for deliveries for the library, and that has grown into some other opportunities. So Brandy and Rob are taking the lead on that. So I'm really happy to hear that and see the opportunity for the departments to work together as often as they can. For business developments, I posted some of this information up on the Facebook page on Saturday afternoon, evening, and quickly took a beating from everybody because it's apparently this current council's fault that the Hill is the way it is. And I think people forget to realize that the Hill was actually, I think, approved back in 2003 or 4, somewhere in that range, and started construction in 2007 or before. And it is an engineering marvel, but that was all done way before this administration came on board there. So we'd like to see some improvements made there, and we'll keep working with the owner of the property and the development there at Fairlane Green. But in the meantime, they have some new buildings going up. Aspen Dental is the building being built right by Chick-fil-A. They're in the corner of the roadway by Meyer, and that's on the Fairlane Green Center. Crafty Crab Seafood is expected to go open soon in the, I think Matt Baker was telling me, probably maybe June time frame. They're going to be in the old Johnny Carino's location, which is in the Independence Marketplace, the lower portion of the development on Outer Drive, and that's in front of the Lowe's Home Improvement. This was a big one. This was probably one that took the most of the excitement from the people. Was Aldi grocery store will be replacing the Staples office supplies at the Independence Marketplace. This is the last cap building closest to the Lowe's, and it backs up to the service drive. The building renovation plans have already been approved by the building department, and renovations should start soon. I think they're going to utilize the same, obviously they have the same footprint. They may make some changes to the outside exterior to make it to look more of an Aldi's, but we're excited to have them coming in. They have been looking at Allen Park for a while. They were initially thought to be going at the corner of Enterprise Drive and Southfield Road, right at the corner of the old movie studio property. And that never fell, that deal fell through. So they're now located here at the Outer Drive Southfield location. And then plans for the last end cap of the new plaza in front of the Town Place Suites Marriott, which is the old City Hall property. I thought it was going to be a Tim Hortons. They threw me a curve. It's going to be a Dunkin', which is for some of us older people would be Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' is the new name for the that they've gone with, and they are trying to show that they're a little bit more than just donuts and coffee. They are a lot of other items. Actually, I think coffee is only 60% of their business now, and I don't know what donuts. I'm still eating the donuts. I don't know who, maybe others aren't eating them, but I'm still eating them. So we're really happy to have them coming on board. I was waiting for the comments to be on the Allen Park Police Department Facebook page with donuts and cops and all that stuff, but it didn't seem to get there. Too bad. I was talking to Deb earlier on that post. So I put that post up on Saturday afternoon, evening time. Till today, we've had 115,000 engagements on that with interactions with the public. There's been 1,200 comments and 2,200 reactions. Either they like it, they love it, they angry face or what. So we're really happy that we were able to interact with the residents like that. And there was some concerns that they were raising, so we were able to tell them how to address those with Wayne County. And that was one of the big things is the road condition of Allen Road and Outer Drive, or road condition of Oakwood and Outer Drive. We can call in, Tom can call in, we can make those issues raised with Wayne County, but it really helps when the residents call in. They are looking to see what the constituents are saying. So when you guys call in or have residents call in, I think that has a lot more impact than just us calling in, because I think that's what they kind of react to a little bit more. For the department heads, they're working on new articles for the next edition of Allen Park Today, which is set to be delivered March 8th. And if you have anything that you want to see in there, let me know. We're working on, the library's got a couple articles already ready to go. We're going to be looking to highlight, I really liked what Jennifer did with the DDA and highlighting the 4 businesses. So we're actually going to highlight 2 businesses that are not in the DDA. Allen Park has the uniqueness of having business enclaves, I'm going to call them, in the middle of the neighborhood. We have the business area there on Park Avenue. We have the business area on Reek Road. We have the business area at Champaign. And then there's a couple of areas that are still outside the DDA in the business district that we'll be able to pull from. But I think it's important that we try to help highlight these businesses during these times. And so Angie Calabrese will be working on articles to highlight those 2 businesses. I don't want to tell you what they are just yet, as she's started the process to work on it, but I think you'll be happy with the selection. And then just a heads up that City Hall will be closed for President's Day on Monday, February 15th. And that is all I have for my report. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Does anybody have any questions for Mark? Charles?
For the DPS facility project, I'm assuming that we're still on track of when it's going to be like finished and open, and same with our budget with that. I'm assuming we're all right with that, or if we're going to get an update in the future, like how we had that timeline presentation thing.
Yeah, I'll work with Bob to get some more details there. I don't want to speak out of turn. I know that he has some concerns. I know Amanda has some concerns. I have some concerns. We tried to lay this out that it was going to be a would be laid out as a multi-year process as we add things in. And so we are going to get to a point in time here where we're going to have a discussion internally before we can present to you of where we're at in that process. We have the building, and that's going to be finished here shortly, construction wise. The main process that I think Bob is really focused on is getting the garage open, because that's pivotal in the sale of the property, the 4-acre property. And Councilman Valera's tell you, it looks pretty close. There's, obviously there's still a lot of work that needs to be done in there, but it is really close in getting all that wrapped up. The question is just going to be when we're at the, running out of money, because we need to get to the next fiscal year, we may have to put things on hold. So, we're kind of looking at those options of what we have, and then we'll have to go back and weigh and see what it would cost to remobilize. That's all going to come into factor. But so far we're doing well. I think Bob said he had still a little bit of money to get us through the completion of what we believe was going to be the first phase. It'll actually be first phase plus a little bit more, but we may not, there's a possibility that the offices may not be ready until after July 1st. And that may just have to be the way it is. We don't have to move out of the White Street location. That's still our property and so forth. We need to make sure we're able to vacate the other with the garage and so forth. But it's going to be getting back to the fact that we need to make sure we follow within our timeline of possibilities that it was going to be a multi-year, multi-phase project.
Thank you.
And all kinds of reminders popping up here. Yeah, I think that's one of the things we're all well aware of is that, you know, we're doing this within our existing budget, within our existing funding, and we're being very responsible about it. So I think, and I'm hopeful that our residents appreciate the fact that we have not come asking for more funding for this. It's something that we very much need, have probably needed it for decades. We're finally doing something about it, but doing it, we're living within our means. I just wanted to make one more comment, and then I'll let, I see Tony may want to make a comment, but I make a comment about Mark's posting on Facebook about all the businesses that are opening and going in. He forgot to mention that that was also in Monday's Free Press. They picked up on his posting, and there was an article, I think it was on page 3, where they have Today in History and your weather map, because a friend of mine, I hadn't read my e-edition yet, and she gets up a little earlier than I do, and she sent me the link because she didn't know that I got the Free Press. So yeah, we were in the Free Press for that. So
it sounds like we may have a friendly reporter there, because she was very happy to hear about all the developments. She said she lives 10 minutes away, and so she is an avid shopper and user of the area. So she was very happy to hear that. Her main focus was on Aldi's, it seemed, and that. But we gave her, Matt Baker was able to provide her with some more information. So I do anticipate maybe some more things coming out on that development.
wonderful. Tony, did you want to make a comment?
You know what? Comment about what? Who?
No, I was just wondering, because when the little box comes up around you, and I wasn't sure whether you know, so I'm going to ask periodically just to make sure that, you know, if you do want to make one, we don't overlook you, okay?
I'm on board.
Okay.
I heard everything that Mark Kibbe said, and I'm on board with it. He does a good job at it.
Great.
I just don't have the internet here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, boy, that's really a bummer. Okay, are there any other questions regarding the administrator's report? If not, can I have a motion to accept and file?
Motion, Valerius.
Second.
Thank you.
Valerius and Syke. Roll call, Mike?
All right, I got a motion to approve the administrator's report. Shall this resolution pass? Councilman Lloyd?
Yes.
Mayor McLeod?
Yes.
Councilman Schlack?
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke?
Yes.
Councilman Valerius?
Yes.
Councilman Blevins?
Yes.
And Mayor Pro Tem Lally?
Yes.
The yeses have it.
Thank you. Now we come to the section of the meeting for public comments. If there are any participants out there who wish to comment, now is the time for you to come forward. You are limited to 4 minutes, and all we need to know is your name and the street on which you live. We do not want to know your full address. So if you'll
Raise their hand.
raise your hand, the director of this meeting will call upon you.
And Mayor, I'm scouring both up and down. I know Deb is doing the same. We do not. Oh, we got Dan Vinay. Hold on 1 second here. Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
And we got you.
Yes.
Hi, hello everybody. My name is Dan Vinay. I'm with Priority Waste. I wanted to first start off and thank Mr. Kibbe on allowing us to bid on the waste contract that you all may be voting on tonight for resolution number 2. The reason for my comment tonight is to ask to postpone the decision. The reason that I'm asking for this is we'd like the chance to have an interview process with all of you or a select few of you to go over the details of our bid. As our base bid was less than 1% different than the competitor that was on there. They did have a weekly recycling option, which we would more than like to talk to you about in more detail. But as I discussed that, with the numbers that Mr. Kibbe in the bid document it provided, the participation rate is 65 to 70% of your residents. In our opinion, that 65 to 70% may not be worth the carbon footprint that could be released with the emissions, the traffic that would be on the roads, and the deterioration of your roads. So that's just one point of the recycling. But like I said, I'd like to go further into that with you all. One thing that makes us different, and if you didn't get our bid packet, we're different because we're youthful, we're active, and we make quick decisions and we act upon them. We're in your communities, we take action in your communities on fundraising events and other things. And one thing that comes to mind is recently in the news, there was a My Abilities, which is a nonprofit organization here locally, lost the trailer, it got stolen from them. Our CEO saw it on the news, took action the next day, found a trailer for that nonprofit and donated one to them. That's just one example of many that we like to pride ourselves on in being active in communities. Back in 2018 was when we took part or opened up this business and venture, but also in 2018, our competitor went to local municipalities and asked for raises because the rate that they provided was too low for them to operate on. One thing that we do in our bid process, we make sure that everything we put on paper is what we will hold ourselves to throughout the contract. In 2020, the pandemic hit, and a lot of our communities around here lost their yard waste service, or it was told it was going to be postponed or suspended. We stepped up. We didn't stop service in our 7 communities, but we also stepped up in various communities in the area to take over that service. And all of a sudden, a couple of days after the notice was sent to this particular hauler, they found the trucks and found the employees to do that service and resumed. And it was because of our action that they took action. So when I talk about priority waste, I talk about the drive that we have to be the best that we can be. We're active in social media. I make sure that our Facebook page is updated and we're actively responding to individuals because we know that that's a medium a lot of people use, as well as a customer service call center that we have with an average hold time of 5 minutes. There's no competitor that I can name that has a hold time of less than 10 to 15 minutes. And I know personally from the community that I live in, it takes a long time for me to get in touch with somebody. So like I mentioned at the top of this, I would just like you to postpone the decision tonight to have a thorough interview potentially with us and other haulers, just so that there can be an open discussion as opposed to choosing based on the low bid. Regardless, we will be active in your community. No matter what your decision is, we won't go away. We will be here. But as you know, with competition brings the best out of all of us, and having somebody own the majority of our communities in their service, we become beholden to them. So thank you all very much. Hope you all have a great night and stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other public comments?
Oh, you got one more, Mayor. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
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 How you doing? My name is Vince Hoyumpa. I am the Chief Operating Officer of Priority Waste. And I just wanted to add, all right, that as a part owner of the business, all right, and as the Chief Operating Officer, both myself, as well as my staff, as well as my partner, the CEO, Todd Stamper, we're always available for any questions that any council member would have, not only if during this process, but if you were to, award us this contract, we're available 24/7. Our competitors, you're dealing with, very large multi-million-dollar corporations where when you reach out to somebody, you're going to be waiting. You're going to go through a call center, or you're going to talk to a middleman. You're not able to talk to the Chief Operating Officer, to the Chief Executive Officer. All right. We're a local company that We service a number of communities already. All right. We just started servicing the city of Westland. We can stress and provide the local touch that our competitors can't. So we appreciate, the time that you guys are taking and making this decision. And again, I just want to echo what Dan Vinay had stated is just, you have your contract through the end of March. You're looking at an April start, taking a couple of weeks to go through and just meet the various haulers might, give you a further viewpoint, all right, as to what you could potentially do. Because the difference between us being the low bid, all right, on what you're currently servicing, or currently have this every other week recycling, it's a $9,000 difference, all right. We believe there's more to that when you have a local company provide and be able to respond immediately to any issues that may come up with the city. So again, I just want to thank everybody for your time. I just want to, again, if you have any issues, questions, just don't hesitate to reach out to me. We'll always be available. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other individuals in the audience who wish to speak during public comments?
One second, let me clear the room real quick here.
You got Tony back.
And we got Tony back. Okay. I do not see anybody else.
Okay, then we will close the public comments segment of the meeting and move on to the consent agenda. Under consent agenda, we have purchasing actions, claims and accounts, and the payroll report. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Syke.
Second, Lloyd.
Second by Lloyd. Take the roll call, please.
All right, I have a motion and a support to adopt the consent agenda as presented. Shall this pass, Mayor McLeod?
Yes.
Councilman Slack?
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke?
Yes.
Councilman Valeris?
Yes.
Councilman Blevins?
Yes.
Pro Tem Lally?
I can't get this. Help me out.
Pro Tem Lally? There you go.
Man, I'm really messed up here.
You're on, Tony.
I can't get.
Tony?
I don't think Tony, can you hear us? I don't think you can.
We could hear him, but he's back on mute.
I think his speakers might not be on.
I know his pain. I know his frustration. That was happening to me earlier with the piece of IT equipment. It's like, oh.
Dinner's on the table.
We can hear you, Tony.
Who's texting you?
Okay,
Tony,
Tony.
we can hear you, Tony. Mike was taking the roll call vote.
You are on mute.
Check speakers. I did all that.
Text her that you did.
No, you don't have.
I sent him the text to check the speakers, but I'm not too sure that might not be his problem.
I know they're.
You can hear him.
I don't want
It's got to be his internal sound system.
Okay.
That's the only thing that I can think that it would be.
to. You can't help me.
I can't do it now because I can't see anything.
We can hear him. That's
I can't even get the speakers to go in and out. I don't get that.
Quit clicking everywhere.
I did. Just say yes or nay. Yes.
Thank you. Councilman Lloyd?
Yes.
The yeses have it.
Yes.
They're taking a vote.
Okay. Now we move on to resolutions. Resolution to authorize the city administrator to send a letter to Advanced Disposal Services Solid Waste Midwest LLC, providing them with notice that the city will not be extending the current contract and will forego the option for a 6th year. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by
Blevins.
Blevins,
Unmute.
Motion. Second.
second by Czajka. Questions or discussion?
Mayor,
Come
real
on.
quick, if I may, through the chair, the purpose of this letter,
What happened?
with Joe Cuvier, the city attorney, we're not too sure it was actually necessary,
know.
but we want to make sure
I'm not
that we
really
just
familiar with yours.
cross all our the T's, dot all the I's, and be able to send the letter to them. So there's a definite knowledge that there's going to be a break there. Again, the service that
Call in on the phone.
service that Waste Man or Advanced Disposal has been providing was good. The big issue we've had with them is the bulk pickup. I said it earlier in the meeting. I know Brian Conaway, he was in the earlier meeting, he may be still in this one now, is on board now. I wish that some of these changes had taken place a couple years ago, and we may have been able to address a lot of the concerns and with the bulk. And again, Stephanie, their new hire from a few months ago, Bob Graham has raved about her and the things that she's been able to help get accomplished and get through without as many issues. But unfortunately, we just need to move on, and we want to be able to send a letter just to let them know that we'll be ending that contract on April 30th of 2021.
Are there any questions? If not, we take the roll call vote, please.
All right, so I got a resolution to send a letter to Advanced Disposal. Shall this resolution pass? Councilman Schlack,
Yes.
Councilman Czajka,
Yes.
Councilman Valerius,
Yes.
Councilman Blevins,
Yes.
Pro Tem Lally, okay, technical difficulties, Councilman Lloyd,
Yes.
and Mayor McLeod.
Yes,
The yeses have it.
I see that Tony is connecting to audio, I think from a different
His
device.
phone. Can you hear us, Tony?
Okay, take yourself off of mute, Tony. There you go.
Sorry, guys. It's just I'm having problem with this internet.
Yeah, Mike's gonna ask you for the vote on resolution 1, sending the letter.
Okay.
Yep. Tony, how would you like to cast your vote on that, to send the letter to Advanced Disposal?
Oh, definitely yes.
Yes. Okay, the yeses have it, Mayor. Next item.
Okay, next item is resolution 2, to award the Allen Park Municipal and Residential Solid Waste Collection and Disposal Recycling and Composting Program contract to Green for Life Environmental, and authorize the administration to negotiate a final contract for a period of 5 years, starting May 1, 2021 to April 30th, 2026, with weekly municipal solid waste collection using the 96-gallon carts, weekly recycling collection using 64-gallon carts, weekly yard waste compost collection from April to December, and miscellaneous city services, which would include bulk, landfill disposal, cost included in the base bid at a location of GFL's choice. May I have a motion?
I make a motion, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Motion from Mr. Lally,
Second, Lloyd.
second by Mr. Lloyd. Questions or comments?
If I may, through the chair, Mayor, Council, I do appreciate the comments from Mr. Vinay, and I hope I didn't pronounce his last name wrong, Mr. Hoyumpa from Priority Waste. I believe that I want to stick forth with my recommendation. We've done a lot of research on the various companies that bid on this over the past 2 months. We as soon as we sent it out to bid, we started doing our due diligence on everybody and started making phone calls and doing research. I feel very comfortable with the recommendation. I feel very comfortable with Green for Life and what they offer the city based on what we've dealt with from other recommendations from other communities, including our own staff here at City Hall, that we've been able to talk to their customers in other cities. So I will not withdraw my request for this to go forth. I would still leave it to the mayor and council to vote on it and move forth with the recommendation to approve the contract with Green for Life.
Through the mayor.
Mr. Lloyd.
I guess my biggest question for you, Mr. Kibbe, is I guess regarding customer service. That's a point that was brought up by Mr. Vinay in his comments. And I know that was an issue that we had with waste management. So through the course of your doing your due diligence, talking to customers of GFL, do you feel confident that we will have a more positive experience with them than we did with waste management?
Yeah, I certainly do. Green for Life has a major footprint here in the Metro Detroit area. Advanced Disposal, in fact, they were there last time. Advanced looking at the, they were one of the options, not as a different name though. But Advanced Disposal, when they came in, only had Detroit, half of Detroit, and I think a contract out in Howell. They did not have the footprint here to do to handle a lot of that stuff. They were big in Indiana. They're huge in Florida, but they didn't have the footprint here. And I think that was a big issue where our phone calls were going to Wisconsin to be handled as opposed to being handled locally. Talking to the other administrators that have Green for Life, it does not have no issue with customer service. We had Mary Jo on earlier. I've known Mary Jo, even though I've never been a customer. I'll be honest with you, I've never been a customer of Green for Life or worked with Mary Jo in any city that I've had, because I've had Waste Management and I had P&R, Painter Ruthenberg when I was in Gibraltar, went to Waste Management. When I got to Woodhaven, it was also Waste Management. When we got here, it was Republic, and it's been Advanced Disposal. So I've never had an opportunity to work with her, but everybody that has worked with her that I'm aware of from other communities have all had positive things to say about the service that her team provides. Now, if you do recall, we did utilize, I got to go back, I do apologize, because we did utilize Green for Life services back here in May of 19. They came in to handle a lot of the bulk waste when Advanced Disposal was having some trouble. And Mary Jo and Sam Caramagno, I'm going to pronounce his name wrong, and I apologize, Sam, were the ones that were involved in that. So we've not had them as our regular trash contractor in any of the cities I've worked, but they have come in to help us out. And I think they attest a lot for what they've been able to do. We did hear good things about Priority Waste. They are a newer company servicing Grozeal. And I know that they are servicing Westland as well. And the customers of those had very positive things to say as well. I would stick to my recommendation with Green for Life for the 5-year contract.
Any other council member want to make a comment or ask a question? I will also interject that as far as the footprint, GFL services our neighboring community of Lincoln Park. And so I think this is another positive reinforcement on their behalf. And as far as the recycling, I think that the majority of our residents are going to be very pleased with having weekly recycling, because I know that we've all probably heard from many of our friends and neighbors saying, why can't we recycle weekly? And so I think that's a real plus for us.
Yeah, Mary, you're absolutely right. I just had a post. I'm trying to think of what I posted. It was something and it gets some responses back from the residents. And that was the #1 request came in was weekly recycling. That's what they were hoping for. So I imagine that the excitement over that possibility will be very good.
Well, if there's no further questions, we can take the vote on this.
Did we lose Mike?
He's just
Mike's
muted.
on mute. We get Tony, we lose Mike.
I was talking so much, Mike went away.
Thanks, Mayor.
Tony, you didn't go change your suit, did you?
No, I'm fine. I'm the same.
Different lighting.
I don't know.
Okay, Mike, we're ready for the roll call on resolution 2.
All right, I'm just double checking the motion and the support again.
Yes, that was Tony Lally and Dan Lloyd.
Okay, Lally, Lloyd. Shall we award the bid to the lowest qualified bidder, Green for Life? Shall this resolution pass? Councilwoman Czajka?
Yes.
Councilman Valerius?
Yes.
Councilman Blevins?
Yes.
Pro Tem Lally?
Definitely yes.
Councilman Lloyd? There you
Yes. Yes.
go. Thank you. Mayor McLeod?
Yes.
And Councilman Schlack?
Yes.
The yeses have it, Mayor. The motion
Thank
is
you.
successful.
Resolution 3 to ratify the city administrator's action regarding the emergency change order for the Lawrence Street Pump Station with the Lawrence M. Clark Incorporated Company in the amount of $17,307.50 with funds from account 592-603-985-000 and waive the city bid process, emergency in nature. May I have a motion?
Motion Valerius.
Motion Valerius. Second by Lally. Questions? Discussion?
If I may, through the chair, I've asked, I just brought in Tom Murray just in case I missed anything. But what's basically happened here is when they started construction on this pump station, which is over on the edge of Brant Park, it's actually in the northeast corner of Brant Park, right on Lawrence Avenue. The water table over there is rather high, so they were getting a lot of water into the area that they were working on. So they need to dewater that first, and then and so that will allow them to put the installation of the valve well into where they're going in their construction area. The second half of this is to add additional concrete to the project, basically to keep it from floating. The concrete will keep everything more stabilized. They're going to go down, I believe it was 42 inches of depth, which is the frost line, and that'll keep everything from heaving back up. And I think that's all. That's as far as I can go. That's about as much as I know. Tom, I have to jump in now. I'm going to grab Sohio too, just in case. I am not an engineer. I've never claimed to be either. So.
Does anybody have any questions or require any further explanation? No? Well, then I think we're good. Mike, if you'll take the roll call vote, please.
Okay, I got a motion, excuse me, I got a motion and a support to approve the resolution ratifying the city administrator's actions on the Lawrence Street Pump Station. Shall this resolution pass? Councilman Valerius?
Yes.
Councilman Blevins?
Yes.
Pro Tem Lally?
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd?
Yes.
Mayor McLeod?
Yes.
Councilman Schlack?
Yes.
And Councilman Czajka?
Yes.
The yeses have it, Mayor. The motion is successful.
Thank you. I have resolution 4, resolution to grant or deny special regulated use permit number 01-2021 for an automotive service facility oil change located at 68555 Allen Road. May I have a motion and specify what the motion is for?
Through the chair,
Yes.
I would like to rescind my vote and not not part of the discussion because I'm a conflict of interest between I sit on the planning commission and this board also. So I would like to be removed.
You recuse yourself.
Thank you. I was looking for the word.
I know, it starts with an R.
Yes, it started with an R. I knew that.
You did a good job.
I mumbled until you got something there. All right.
Okay. Mr. Blevins.
I would like to make a motion to deny the special regulation permit.
I have a motion to deny by Mr. Blevins. Do I have a second?
Second, Valeria.
Uh,
Good, Gary Schleck.
I have a second by Gary Schleck for the motion to deny. Are there any questions or discussion?
I just want to say, as a liaison to the DDA, and hearing opinions that I've heard, I definitely feel that the station that as is would not go and suit our city plan of having that in our city center.
And I know, Tony, you lost your internet connection about the same time that Matt Baker came on and gave us some additional information explaining the previous zoning ordinance under which the old business existed and the new one that precludes it from existing. And I think that would answer a lot of your questions. I see we have Chris Adkin here now. So if you've got a question, this would be great. It might be a good idea to have one or both of them repeat it.
If they can, I'll really appreciate it.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Matt, do you want to come back in and kind of tell us what you told us at the work session about the zoning ordinances?
Sure. So I believe that the oil change shop, to the best of my knowledge, was built in the 70s. And in our downtown district, that was zoned as a Z2, where that use was allowed. And like I said before, if that use were to continue as an oil change station without an interruption in use, that use would still be able to exist today. But because it did change use, when it changed to the heating and cooling office, now then it wants to go back to the previous use where it can't do that because of the it falls under the C5 central business district. So that's why now there's certain stipulations that use has to abide by, and currently it wouldn't meet any of those new C5 business district standards. So that's kind of the change of uses where the hiccup was, and that's why we're here now. I don't know if Chris has anything to add, but I did want to make that point, and that's why it is a regulated use.
No, that's accurate.
Mr. Lloyd.
I think this would probably be best to go to Mr. Atkins. I just had a question about under vehicular access and circulation. It's the second paragraph there. It talks about internal circulation of traffic will be limited to one way. And the conclusion that's drawn from this is this causes concerns of traffic entering the property from Cleveland Avenue. If you just wouldn't mind just kind of clarifying what the concern is for what that particular setup is going to cause for traffic flow.
Well, on the site plan, you can see that they have some parking spaces there on the northern side of the building, which would be the street side, the Allen Road side of the building. Now, in order to have two-way traffic flow in there with 90-degree parking, the minimum width of the aisle, the maneuvering lane, has to be, I believe it's 24 to 26 feet, and they came in under that. So to safely have traffic flow through there with limited width, that would possibly put traffic up onto the public sidewalk. And so by closing narrowing off the Cleveland Avenue one, making that the exit, the egress, and then closing off the one closest to the corner on Allen Road would eliminate any traffic coming in from that direction. Whereas most of the traffic that you want coming in would be from the northeasternmost access on Allen Road, which is in front of the overhead doors. And so either customers would be able to go right up to the doors, or if for whatever reason they needed to go inside, that would create the the clockwise rotation of traffic off of Allen Road, then out onto Cleveland Avenue there. And it did come down to, it didn't meet the requirements for two-way traffic, or two-way circulation on the property.
Thank you. And I guess I have one more question. This has to do with what Ms. Kibbe brought up in our work session regarding the, I'm sorry.
Environmental.
Yes, thank you. Words also are escaping me. Do we have any information on that environmental report, or what is the issue that is at hand with that?
To my knowledge, I have not seen any environmental documentation. I haven't gone seeking any of it yet either. But generally, with sites where there's petroleum products or even old dry cleaners, they want to get an environmental assessment done on it. And prior to anyone purchasing it, it's usually advised that they get a baseline environmental assessment. And what that environmental assessment will do will pretty much set the level of what the contamination is at that point. So in the event that they come back and do more testing, those levels have increased, the owner of the property is not responsible for that cleanup. However, if they don't get that environmental assessment and they come back, then that will go with the ownership and they will be responsible for that cleanup. So best case scenario with that property is to leave it capped. Quite possibly the surface could be removed, and I believe in some instances, depending on how dirty the site may be, I think footers can go, they can't dig any further down than 18 inches. If I'm not, I don't know the specifics, but it's not very far. Basically, if it's not left as green space, then it has to be capped. So no more contamination gets in it. I have seen and read reports that sometimes the preference is to leave it open as green space to allow, it kind of speeds up the filtration process by allowing rainwater and any sort of precipitation to get in there and dilute any contaminants that are existing. So, but long answer, but to answer your question, I don't know. The odds are the site has some sort of contamination on it.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Chris, for answering that for me. I really appreciate it. Now
Yeah, there's a lot that's involved in all of this. It was interesting, the comment about the green space. I know that I had asked a question earlier because there's a number of restaurants that have been built on service station properties, et cetera. And I'm assuming that if the baseline establishes that there's no environmental hazard, as long as they aren't digging, then
no more than
that's
18
a possibility.
inches,
Correct? Tony, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Well, they can't dig no more than they're supposed to be. If
Right.
it is, then it'd be contaminated.
Right.
Through the chair, it looks like Chief LaFond raised his hand.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Atkins, for taking time out of your evening. It's very much appreciated.
You're welcome.
Lloyd, I'm gonna have to make you co-host now.
I do this for a living, Mark. I do this for a living. That's why I got the big bucks.
We're trying to multitask and do something else here, so sorry about that.
You're muted.
You're on mute, Chief. Unmute.
He's already thinking about retirement.
He's already at Disney World.
Chief, you're on mute.
We're laughing with you, not at you.
Yeah.
This whole night's been technical difficulties.
What's going on now? What's next?
No, we're waiting for the chief to unmute himself to add to this discussion, Tony.
Oh.
Looks like he's resorted to typing.
Yeah.
Next. Oh, boy.
Mark, you can't unmute him?
I can only ask him to unmute.
Oh, okay.
We have a problem with his internet. I'll tell you that right now. We got to get back in the council chambers.
Gail, you're muted too.
You know what I mean?
Okay, thank you. I think we
You're
should wait till this last
Ah!
iteration is over.
Oh,
Go, Chief.
Chief is on.
Word to God. I just wanted to add that we have actually extensive file on this property over at the fire department. The last time it was an oil change place, I was the fire marshal, and it had a lot of violations, including lack of an oil separator in their oil change pit. So they were directly like draining like their surface water from their maintenance bay right into the storm sewer. And you can imagine what was involved in that. So yeah, so I would definitely look into this before I let them open it back up like that again, because it was a fight with them the whole time. We kept citing them, and they just would ignore our citations, and eventually they went out of business. So, for what it's worth, that's my 2 cents.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Chief. I'm going to miss you.
Any other questions, discussion regarding this resolution?
Let's go through with it.
If not, if you'll take the roll call on the resolution to deny the special regulated use. The motion was made by Mr. Blevins and seconded by Mr. Schlack.
All right, and I would like to add, I had conditions if it was granted and conditions if it was denied. And if it is denied, as it goes, the following items is because it was non-compliant to section 52886. The existing site is approximately 9,360,000 square feet. The existing structure is within 40 feet of a street lot line and within 25 feet of a lot line. The existing ingress and egress points nearest the intersection of Allen Road and Cleveland Avenue appear to be within 20 feet of the corner. These requirements are discussed in the walls, fences, and screening section and dumpster enclosure section of this review. And there are 2 existing service station or public garages within 500 feet of the subject's property and lot boundary line, and all of those were for the non-compliant part. Shall this resolution to deny pass? Councilman Blevins.
Yes, to deny.
Pro Tem Lally.
Deny.
Councilman Lloyd.
Yes.
Mayor McLeod.
Yes.
Councilman Schlack.
Yes, to deny.
Councilwoman Czajka as abstaining. Councilman Valerius.
Yes.
The yeses have it. The conditional use permit is denied.
Thank you. And thank everyone for the information that you provided to all of us. It was very helpful, very helpful.
Thank
And
you.
now we come to the council comments, and tonight Pam starts us off.
All right. I'd like to say welcome aboard to Officer Ellen. I know I'm going to Czajka. And I'd like to say welcome aboard, and I'm glad to see you here. And I don't have a whole lot to say other than that. So all the retirees, being retired myself, I can tell you it's a wonderful thing to be retired. So congratulations on putting in your time. And with that, I will, now see, I can't even remember that word.
Yield.
Yield.
Thank you. Matthew.
I'd like to reiterate what Pam said. Congratulations to Allen Park's newest police officer, Czajka. I found a quote. It was not my quote. It's by a gentleman by the name of Lizer Yudkowski. It says, the police officer who puts their life on the line with no superpowers, no x-ray vision, no super strength, no ability to fly, and above all, no invulnerability to bullets, reveals the greater virtue than Superman, who is only a mere superhero. So we welcome you to the Allen Park Police Department. Please stay safe, and we appreciate your service to protect and serve. I want to congratulate also Chief LaFond, Captain Love, Captain Hughes, and Lieutenant Stasick on your retirement. Thank you for your many years of service, not only to Allen Park, but dedicating yourself to serving others and putting your life on the line every day as a firefighter. I found this cool firefighter's prayer. I'm sure they've heard it, but I wanted to share it with you too. It says, when I am called to duty, God, wherever flames may rage, give me strength to save a life, whatever be its age. Help me embrace a little child before it is too late, or save an older person from the horror of that fate. Enable me to be alert and hear the weakest shout, quickly and efficiently to put the fire out. I want to fill my calling, to give the best in me, to guard my friend and neighbor and protect his property. And if according to your will I must answer death's call, bless with your protected hand my family, one and all. So as those individuals enter the next stage of their lives in retirement, I just wish them all the best and thank them for all their many years of service. Also, I'm in a thankful mood tonight, so I want to thank the DPS workers. Took my dog for a walk last night, and right on the corner of Euclid and Quant, there was they were out there working in the freezing cold, snow and water, wet, mud, everything. It was an absolute mess. There was a water main break, and after talking to the guys, this was the second one that they were working on that same evening in that same area. Just to see the street and all the mud and water and everything else, and them being out there just was, just made me appreciate things that they do just to make sure that people could turn on their faucets and have running water. So I, thank you for working in the frigid cold, the mud, the water. I'm a big fan of winter. I'm a big fan of snow and ice and cold temperatures, but I don't think I'd be a big fan of being, 6 feet down in a mud pit in the middle of that. Like I said, working in the cold water and mud. Continuing my round of thanks, I want to thank Bob Cady. Once again, Mark mentioned I had the opportunity to meet with Bob and Mark out at the DPS facility yesterday and take a tour. Just amazing, the progress. I mean, you see it from the outside, and it's amazing from the outside, but actually getting inside of it and seeing it take shape, and the flooring and the concrete, and it made me proud, but also made me very thankful of Bob Cady and all the workers for everything that they're doing, and his remarkable job supervising this project, and being there on site from the time it started to now and in the future days ahead. So, and to kind of finish, something near and dear to my heart, I just want to ask everyone, my fellow council members, all the citizens of Allen Park, in these troublesome times, reach out to who is the most vulnerable during these times, and that's our seniors. This time has been hard on everyone, but I don't think anyone has a clear understanding in regards to how hard it's been for, like I said, those most vulnerable, our seniors, who have been, in a sense, cut off from interaction with not only family, but friends, and for their own safety. The reason behind it is definitely understandable, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that, a lot of these folks have been in lockdown from when this all first started. And they don't have the ability that some of us have to get out in the community, to travel, to go places. A lot of them have been where they've been since all this started, almost a year ago. you know, and I use my dad as an example, you know, of the struggle. He lives less than 3 blocks away from me. I went to being able to see him every single day to, you know, I'm still not able to even go up into his room to visit. I could meet him in the lobby. I could meet him outside, which now with the weather and everything else, that becomes even harder as well. But it's, you know, it's really difficult. And, you know, yeah, there is the light with the vaccinations, but it's still a difficult process for our seniors. They do not have the ability to do things that we take for granted. They don't have the technological means to set up a My Chart. You know, they don't have that ability. And that is actually keeping them from receiving the vaccination that they should be first to receive, in my eyes, in my opinion. They are the most vulnerable. They should be taken care of first. You know, I agree with the frontline people. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about the phase 1B groupings. You know, they need to be taken care of. And if that takes our help, whether it's our parents or whether it's someone else's, or whether it's a person, a senior who simply doesn't have the means to do this type of stuff and to get out for an appointment. I've worked over these last couple of weeks to try and get my dad scheduled, and it's been a struggle, as I'm sure, you know, all of us have been made aware of. I did finally manage to get him an appointment down at the Ann Arbor VA hospital, you know, for next week. But once again, that was a struggle just to be able to do that. So, you know, I just ask that all of us, you know, keep these, you know, our most vulnerable, our seniors, reach out to them, you know, whether it's just to see how they're doing, whether it's just to talk to them. They love that stuff. They love the phone calls. They love the letters. They love the cards. They just are looking for connection. They are looking for communication. They're looking for people to let them know that they're cared for, and we need to provide them with that. So with that, I thank you for your time, everyone, tonight. Sorry that was a little long-winded. I'm using some of Pam's time since she didn't talk that much anyway. I appreciate your time. I appreciate everyone, and I yield my time, and have a good evening.
Thank you. Gary.
Mayor, can I jump in real quick?
Yes.
Before Councilman Valeris mentioned about the DPS, and I should have mentioned this earlier. So they had a water main break that they had to work on Keppen and Quant that Councilman Valeris mentioned. They also at the same time had a break over at Hanover and Roger. So they took care of that. When they come back to work on the one at Keppen and Quant, it's under the concrete. And they also had they get that fixed, and before they can fill the hole back in, they had a storm sewer collapse at the same time. So they had to put about 15 feet of storm sewer in. They get all that wrapped up. They're ready to go, and they get a phone call that they got to go check over at Euclid and Allen Road. And yes, there's another break at Euclid and Allen Road. So it's just one of those days. Bill Miner, the supervisor, I think he said he was up since 7:30 yesterday morning. Worked all night with his crew there, so they definitely deserve kudos, and they do a good job. So, but it just happens. This is the time of the weather. It's this frost freeze and situation. It's horrible for those guys at this point in time. So but they do a good job.
Thank you, Gary.
Yes, I just want to start by saying I wanted to welcome Officer Czajka as well as my fellow councilman and Councilwoman. I want to wish those who submitted the retirement paperwork a very happy retirement once that time comes. I'm quite a ways away, so eventually I'll get there. I'm also excited to see our new recycling program go into effect with Green for Life. And I want to encourage everyone to get vaccinated once possible. I feel that it's completely safe and necessary to see the light at the end of this tunnel in this pandemic that we are still in. Don't lose sight of that. And I want to say to continue to support small business once restaurants and bars are open again on the 1st, which is this coming Monday. There is going to be a curfew of 10 p.m. and some other 25% requirements, some other requirements that are laid upon, but definitely patronize our local small businesses so they can stand through this pandemic and beyond. And finally, again, we are in this pandemic, so wear your mask, be safe, be smart, And with that, I yield my time.
Thank you, Gary. Charles.
Okay, so January is cervical cancer and glaucoma awareness month. What I've been trying to do is, especially with my bow ties, to have like the ribbon colors, or just try to bring more awareness to the table for the year, this year. For the next Allen Park Today magazine, if we could try to, I guess, change the recycle calendar, since now we're going to have recycle every week now. We won't.
Time out. Understand, this contract does not go into effect until May 1st. So there will be no weekly recycling until May 1st.
Okay, so not the next Allen Park calendar.
Okay,
We'll
we
be
got
at
it now.
Yeah, talking to
Thank
Mary
you.
Jo, we'll probably announce something. They're going to send something out right before the changeover, and we'll follow back up again. Sorry about that.
So the next Allen Park magazine is going to be in March, correct? Yes. Okay. All right. Face-to-face meetings. Since we're opening up restaurants, are we going to go back to face-to-face meetings come February? Then next week is the first Tuesday. Are we going to have a work session meeting? And if we do, can we get just updates on our city buildings of like whatever, like how we do for the DPS? We're gonna, it's been a year again with the library outside, that priority. And then same with the historical house. I just want us to keep on having the same attention, and same with the fire station, same attention for all these city buildings, and just ideas. Same with the Allen Park Theater. If we're gonna have any more updates on that.
If I can interrupt, Councilman, if we could do that at the March meeting. I am trying to get through the wrap up of the 2 contracts. In fact, I'm hoping to bring you another contract in early February for the police. I got to get those wrapped up. If we can put that back and we can do a nice get something together, or just a real quick brief update on that at that one meeting. But it may not be real in depth. The focus has really been right now is getting these contracts wrapped up.
All right. I'm just bringing it out there with ideas.
Put it on the to-do list, right?
And then just also, again, like Councilman Shellac, keep supporting our local businesses with February, with the businesses opening up with restaurants. Just keep supporting them, wear your face masks. The Historical Commission, they are a little fundraiser for donations of bottle caps. They have I guess it's a trash can outside of the historical house where you can donate bottle caps, because they want to get a couple benches like how they have at the parks with the green benches, and try and make some for possibly the historical house. So if you have any bottle caps, please donate. And then just everyone keep up the good work. It's great. It's interesting that come the 28th, I've been on here for a year now, and how time, like the other day was the 23rd. I'm like, I remember we went to the MML, all of us went to the MML meeting in Ann Arbor and stuff, and it's just like, wow, that was a whole year ago. But I do appreciate everyone and what you guys do up here, and same with the workers in the city. And with that, let's keep getting the job done, and I yield.
Thank you, Charles. If I just, Charles mentioned the bottle caps. Those are the plastic. They need plastic tops and lids, not the ones you pop off the beer bottles. But yeah, they're collecting them, and they're going to do. Their goal is to do 2 benches for the historical home. So thank you. Glad you brought that up, and I'm glad you brought up the work session meeting. And I'll send something out, and we'll put something on agenda. Tony.
Yes.
Your turn.
Well, I'm sorry about the mishap tonight. That was very uncomfortable for me because I was trying to get on and I couldn't get in. But finally, we took care of business. I do have a couple of things to say. I want to thank you to Mark Kibbe for doing an excellent job at what he does. I want to thank the DPS department. I've been up to that new building, and they're doing an excellent job up there, and I'm sure it will be an excellent building when it's all done. I want to thank you to Mayor, Madam Mayor, you were there with me on the QRT, which is a quick response team. That was an excellent training, or shall I say, interview. They did a beautiful job, and I think hopefully we all gonna take it over with. It helps the people that's in need. You just don't put somebody in jail just because they overdose. There's got to be a reason behind that, and that to me is very responsible for our team to do that. And I want to thank Chief Egan for bringing that on. Not only that, on that same day in the morning, we went through the honor guard training session, which was very, very nice that we have this honor guard. That's excellent. I think that should be applauded a lot, because if somebody passes away, we have somebody to honor them, not just go by themselves and nobody seen. So I thought that was excellent, and I want to thank the chief to bring that on. And you know, I guess he's going to have some fundraiser towards that. And I think I said it in the meeting that he's got some T-shirts for sale for that, to fundraiser for the uniforms that they need. I'm kind of right now, I got to say something, and it's probably, I don't like what I saw and what I got. I had a citizen write me a letter about a American flag being flown upside down by the resident across the street from the library on Champaign. It is very upsetting to me and to them. You know, we fought for our country. And I don't know if any of you know exactly when the flag flies upside down means. Well, I guess, you know, I find out what it means. When the flag is flown upside down, it means we're in distress. The country is in distress. Well, fortunately, we're not in distress. And I want to I hope this guy that's did this, it's an apartment building. I hope this guy is listening to this. I am very ashamed of you to put the flags upside down in Allen Park, Michigan, to honoring all our veterans that fought their life for, and you put the flag upside down. You're so ashamed. I wish you would turn that flag upside down the right way or take it down. Okay? That to me is very important, and that's why I wanted to say. Other than that, I want to congratulate Chief LaFond. I don't really like to see him go, but he did a good job for this organization here in Allen Park. I knew him when he became chief in Allen Park. A very good man, the best chief we ever had so far. And I'm sure his predecessors will do the same. And I want to congratulate all the fire people that want to retire. Now we have to find some good ones to replace them. At this time, I hope you guys have a good evening, and thank you, and God bless you for watching this meeting. I hope one day we'll get back together in the council chambers. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Very well said. Dan.
So it's the displeasure of going last for me this evening. I guess that's always your displeasure, Mayor. So.
But you're not. I'm last and I'm stuck with nothing to say.
Right. So I will echo similar thoughts, but I'm impressed by the symmetry at the beginning of tonight's meeting, welcoming a new officer, Ellen Czajka, to join the Allen Park Police Department, and not saying goodbye yet, but saying goodbye to some proud members of the Allen Park Fire Department. And I reflect, as a lifelong Allen Parker who has no plans on going anywhere, that Chief LaFond, and I don't know Captain Love, Hughes, and Lieutenant Stasick as well, but Chief LaFond, in his 25 years, he has been protecting me since I was about 8 years old. When I was a student at Benny Elementary, I didn't know it then, but if during that time my family would have needed him, I have no doubt that Chief LaFond would have rushed to my aid, to the aid of my loved ones. And Officer Czajka, now a member of our Allen Park Police Department, I have a distinct pleasure of knowing, and I feel confident in this, that she will probably be there for the next 25 years to protect me and my family and my loved ones, and to be there when I am in distress. And it is a great privilege that we never need them, but it is a great privilege that we know, and as citizens, we can trust that when we dial those 3 numbers that you never hope to have to call, that you will get somebody that is dedicated to saving a life and to saving your life. And so I'm very appreciative of, yes, the firefighters that we will unfortunately losing, and then also they're very thankful for Officer Czajka, who we are welcoming to Allen Park. I would also like to, I think that I have a heartfelt thanks for Chief Egan. Chief Egan has been in his position for less than a year, and he is really working his butt off to make true on his promise to be responsive community policing. And we see that with the training that Mayor Pro Tem Lally and Mayor McLeod went to, where we are trying to respond to the needs and illness that we have, unfortunately, throughout our nation. And I also know that he met with a Detroit 300, a community policing organization out of Detroit, and trying to just proactively have that conversation about how our police force can more proactively be partners with minority members within our community. And I know that he's constantly trying to work within our community to build that partnership, so that there is when everybody in the city of Allen Park, when they see those police officers, they have that feeling of safety and comfort that we all have. And so very big thanks to Chief Egan for all of his efforts. It is appreciated. Finally, I would like to thank, and I think that we were talking about it this evening, at the beginning of our work session, but I am incredibly thankful to Bob Graham, who has stepped up over the past few years to take over the bulk disposal for the city, to make sure he gets that with waste management. And it's actually, I have a personal story with this. As all of you know, many of you that are up here with me know that I lost my father a little over a year ago. And if anyone has lost a close loved one, you know that a big part of that process is cleaning out your house and getting rid of a lot of the things that go into that. And my mom, a widower, she was calling up Bob Graham on a weekly basis, and it was a very difficult thing for her. And I'm sorry, he treated her with extreme kindness, having no idea who she was. And I have talked to other community members, and from my interactions with other citizens and their interactions with Mr. Graham, that is just who he is. That he just treats every interaction that he had with the citizen with absolute positivity. And I think that he is truly a testament to, you don't know the impact that you have on people's lives. And I know, and I spoke to my mom about this. She had, that's why I double checked with Mr. Keefe this morning. She needed to double check to make sure that he wasn't like losing his job. My mom was very upset that we were losing Mr. Graham. All right. So that's why I had to double check. But I am incredibly appreciative of the service that he's provided for our city, and the kindness that he has shown to all of our citizens, not just my mom, but especially my mom. So if he's not watching tonight, Mr. KB, I hope that you extend that thanks on my behalf. I very much appreciate that. And I yield my time. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Before I speak, Mizzy, do you have anything that you'd care to throw in?
I wasn't going to say much, but I want to echo what Dan said about Mr. Graham. My mother had recently passed away, and one of the first people to stop over to see my father was actually Bob Graham. So I echo that, Dan. It's amazing. He is there in the weird times. Anyways, with that, thank y'all for coming out. God bless you and good night.
Thank you. Well, as usual, you all complain about who's first and who's last, and I'm always last. And I'm always the one who is repeating everything that everybody else said. Tony and I had the opportunity to meet our new police officer, Czajka, at that training session. She was there, and hopefully we will get back to live meetings where we can do these swearing in of our new officers, police and fire at the meetings, and we can meet them and their families. Same thing with our commission appointees. Maybe we'll just have one big blowout, everybody come that didn't make the previous meetings. I'm sure that the retirements that are coming up are well deserved and well earned. We will miss each and every one of you and your skills and abilities, but we also feel that good leadership prepares their staff and their workforce to assume responsibilities and duties, and I think that has probably occurred. We'll get into a few other things. I keep looking at newspapers, the News Herald and the Free Press, and I keep thinking, I need to mention this, I need to mention this. Just want to congratulate the Allen Park, Melvindale, and Cabrini football players who were recognized in various categories by the News Herald on varying teams, including Allen Park's Max Alvarez and David Cagle, who were named to the 2020 News Herald Dream Team. I also want to congratulate, and I think I've probably missed some editions, it was in a Sunday Free Press, was a full page ad. Congratulations to Lisa Luke and Allen Park High School Junior, who was one of 6 female honorees for cross country recognized in the Detroit Free Press by the High School Sports Awards of Detroit. And I believe that her mother is now on the school board. So I've sent her an email to find out if she would like my copy of the newspaper in case she didn't get a hard copy. One of the other things, sometimes I do cruise around on Facebook, and I'm not sure if everyone saw it, but we have an individual, Cecile Harris, who is turning 99 on January 31st. As you'll recall, as you'll recall, some months ago, it was brought to our attention that there was an individual at Maple Heights who turned 105, and I did send a letter on our behalf congratulating him on that achievement and looking forward to his next one. So you all know, I will send Cecile a letter from myself and the council members congratulating her on her birthday and letting her know that we are looking forward to sending her a letter next year when she turns 100.
God bless America.
Other than that, as some of you have, I urge everyone to continue to follow the protocol for COVID, especially since the disease seems to be developing some new and improved iterations of itself. We all know that disease and germs, no matter what we throw at them, struggle very hard to survive, just as we are working very hard to defeat them. So I understand everyone's weariness and frustration. I'm sure we've all been there. I think Matthew pointed out how it really impacts some individuals even more than others. Those of us who can get out of our homes and go to the store, it's not as big a deal. We've made adjustments, but there are others who it's probably like being in solitary confinement. I wrote down here because it has crossed my mind. This has turned into a 12-round heavyweight fight. What we have to do is remember that when that bell rings, we keep coming out of the corner and we keep punching back and we keep working at this. Unfortunately, even though we haven't been experiencing a lot of deaths, in last night's Wayne County report, we did have one death reported. I don't know exactly, there's a lag between when the death actually occurs and it's reported, but I was advised it was an 80-year-old woman who passed away and was reported yesterday. We are doing everything that we can so that we do not lose anyone. People who need to get vaccinated are not overlooked. I was on a conference call on Monday. We know that the nursing homes are being covered, but the issue about senior residencies has come up. We've had contact, our fire department has had contact with Maple Heights and with the Paluch home, trying to make sure that they are kept well informed and people have access or a method for accessing the vaccines, hoping that we get some more cohesive direction from the state level, if not the county level. In that conference call, an issue was raised about other seniors. And so Deputy Chief Can provided me with a link to a state website where I was able to download senior homes in Allen Park who are not your larger residences, but they are individual homes where you may only have 3 or 4 people residing. I passed that information along with the Maple Heights and the Paluch Center to Debbie Dingle's office. She has one of her advisors. They are gathering information because there's a great concern on her part about people getting overlooked. Again, as has again been spoken by all of you, continue to watch out for one another, be neighborly, do what you can for people that you know, lend a helping hand. It's very important, as we've seen tonight. Little acts of kindness can mean a lot to individuals. And just finally, please continue to take care of yourselves and the ones that you love. We will get through this. I am hoping that it's sooner rather than later. And with that, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion by Blevins, seconded by Lally.
Okay.
Before I second that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Before I second, Madam Mayor, can you hear me?
Yes.
Before I will second the motion by any means, but I just I forgot to tell, to keep in mind a friend of mine, really close friend of mine. He had leukemia and his leukemia came back and he's got a few days before he passes. I would appreciate on your own to say a prayer for him, the way, whatever way you guys want to do it. Thank you very much. I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Tony. We have a motion by Blevins, supported by Lally, to adjourn.
All right, shall we adjourn the meeting? Pro Tem Lally.
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd.
Yes.
Mayor McLeod.
Yes.
Councilman Slack.
Yes.
Councilwoman Syke.
Yes.
Councilman Valerius. Got that.
Yes, let's move.
Councilman Blevins.
Yes.
The yeses have it. The meeting is adjourned at 8:05 p.m. everybody.
Have a good night.